How we doing this morning? Hopefully you're having a fantastic morning. We weren't on yesterday. Excited to be back on today. And it's going to be a great day of trading. I believe that. We just swept these lows. We have an inversion right here with equal highs. To be honest, this looks really nice. This looks really nice. We have about 28 seconds on that candle. Let's see how it wants to do it. The reason I'm looking at this is we swept these lows into this fair value gap. We have multiple highs sitting right here. Okay. So, how was your guys' week? Hopefully you had a great week so far. Monday, Tuesday. I didn't on Tuesday. 2 trades. I emotionally traded. I did not follow my rules, and I made some mistakes and lost a lot of my progress on my eval account, or not my eval, on my funded accounts. Was really disappointed, but let's see where we at. There's the move. Let's see where we go. Come on, let's hit it. I'm going to move my stop to break even. We're looking at this right here. It's approximately right there. It's not moving like I want it to. I'm on. I'm going to take a contract off there and let everything else just run to break even. It's not moving like I want it to. It could move, but we're just getting set up here anyway, so I don't want to make any mistakes starting off. Good morning, T-Man. How you doing? Let's see if we get this. Come on, let's be a win right away. Let's see this play out. Let's have this call out happen right away, right off the bat. That's what I'm talking about. Let's have it. All right, stop us move to break even. I took a little size off, and we have our swing high. This is just a 10 handle target. We have news in 3 minutes, so anything could happen here. So stop. This is a free trade at this point. Okay, and let's see if we're going to be stopped for break even. And it would be in profit because we've already taken some profit. We are going to go over our analysis. T-Man, 1 hour looks bullish to me. I would like to see London low swept first. What are you looking for today? We are going to go over that here. Let's just see this run and hit this high. I'd like to get, there we go. There's our first win. Selling that, we'll take profit right there. And it looks like we are going to probably go for these highs right here. A nice, easy win. right there. Overall, I think I'm bullish until we fill in this new week opening gap, and we have this this range. Let me pull up the daily right here. So if we look at the price leg that we created from this high to this low, if you find where equilibrium is at, it's sitting right here. It's right above the new week opening gap. Okay. That red line right there is our equilibrium. And so we're currently in discount. So I prefer longs. We just took a long here. We sold that. We were able to make some profit on that. Good morning, Guttenberg. How you doing? And so it's all looking good. I think we are bullish. I still have these levels here. I like this daily bearish order block. I like that sitting right here. It's in line with the breaker as well, sitting right here. High, low, higher, high. We break lower. So we got a daily order block and a daily breaker sitting right here above the equilibrium. I want to see how we're going to react once we get through the new week opening gap. And however that responds will determine, in my mind, if we're bullish or bearish for the day. But, I mean, if we look left right now, it's not pretty. This isn't pretty at all. I don't like the way this looks on the lower time frame. So it could be a little choppy today. But really, we're looking for these highs to be ran right here. These are our highs that we're looking for. We got equal highs first sitting right here. We just slapped those equal highs right off the open. Let's see how we respond with the open here. Morning, Adam. How we doing? I like this is a breaker. This is a quick wick. This tells me there's a good chance we're going to go higher. A low, high, lower, low, and we just wicked right down into that breaker. We were probably going to push higher right here. It's right off the open. It's the 8:30. It's the 9:30 candle. I don't like playing that, so we'll tape read this, but I'm high probability we go up to here. And we honestly it reacted so fast right here. We would have never had an opportunity to go long unless we had a limit order set already. Because it flashed down there. So there it is. There's the breaker playing out, hitting that target, and here's our new week opening gap high. And then our equilibrium for the range, for the daily range, is sitting at 18,535. I honestly would like to get out of this range anyway because it doesn't look very nice. Been all kinds of movements. Let's mark out where our midnight open is. I want to find that real quick. Midnight open. Let's drop down to the 1 hour. Okay. 1 hour time frame. Sitting over here. What do we got? 21, 22, 23, 24 right here. All right, there's our midnight open. It's not very low. I mean, we're pretty close to that. So, where are we at? There it is. Okay. I can see it's coming back all the way down here. Or tagging it. And then, where's our opening range? We got a big opening range, I think. What do we got for our opening range? Yeah, oops, let's go back. I honestly, I think we got a little bit of a down move gonna happen here. We got a big range right there. Okay, so we will fill some of this in. We already tapped the new week opening gap, so we've hit liquidity to the upside. That could be a manipulation move. Okay, this is the 1 minute time frame. I like this wick here to play off of this 1 minute to go at least to the swing low. It could be a fairly quick and easy entry. We still have a little bit of time, 20 seconds left. Let's see if it finds support or what it wants to do here. This is fresh. We're still only 3 minutes into the market open here. So there's a lot of manipulation that can happen. We still could go higher. To be honest, we came really close to the 53.34 level, which is sitting right here. This is the equilibrium. So we're pretty close. But we have a nice swing low. Do we have equal lows down here? We got a little bit of liquidity. We got this 1 minute fair value gap. This 15-minute BISI sitting right there. But like I said, I don't like all of this. It wouldn't surprise me, guys, if we do more of a consolidation. We don't have any major news, and we've rebalanced this new week opening gap, and we have a higher high, and we could do this ranging type move. And if we do that, that will set up here for a nice play to the downside. But I need to see some confirmation of that. $18,400. I like that level too. It's a swing low that ends in a fair value gap on the 1 minute. But we want to tie that in with a 15 or 5 minute to see if we have any overlapping confluences. And it looks like we do. We have a 5 minute right here. We have not closed below. So I'm going to say, here's what I'm going to say. I'm saying we're bullish until we close below this. This is probably going to be my indicator if we are going to see bearish price action because of where we currently are. We supported this 5 minute pretty well. So until that happens, we have to have bullish sentiment, in my opinion. Hey, Adam, it's always better to wait. It's always better to wait. If you don't know what's going on, it's always better to wait. If we don't make a higher high here, those levels are just so far away. I mean, to the close of Friday's candle is sitting right here. That's 558. I mean, that's 50 handles away. And that doesn't look very far on the daily time frame. Yeah, at this point, we need price to decide where it wants to go, and I need a change in state of delivery. If we're bullish, you can take these fair value gaps and go long. I just don't know how high we want to go. We're right at equilibrium. We're right at equilibrium here at 534. 534 is equilibrium. So let me just mark that out here. This is equilibrium right here. That's equilibrium, and we are hitting it right now. or just about. We just went underneath it. This is equilibrium. Equilibrium of the range. What do I mean by that? It means 50% of this last leg that we saw, 50% of this last leg that we see right here on the daily time frame from this high to this low. We want to see price, if price wants to go lower, we want to see it typically to retrace 50%. Well, that is this level right here. Once we go into this 50% level, we are now in premium. We're in premium of this higher time frame leg. That gives us permission to begin to look for lower price action. It doesn't mean we're going to get that. Not at all. We could just blow right through it and continue higher. But it is a reference point you want to have on your charts to keep an eye out. The reason I have that here is we just have this new week opening gap high. We just ran this high here, and the new in the equilibrium is sitting right here. So we have a couple things around here that could indicate price begin moving the other direction. It may not, but we have some stuff here that we can look at. So we just wicked above it, and I really want to see, do we close higher and continue, or are we just going to wick above it and not really make any strides higher? If we start seeing consolidation around this area, then that could be a good sign for a potential reversal. But I think Adam hit it on the nose. I think it's better to wait. Let's wait a little bit. Let's see how price fleshes out, because there's not a clear and obvious setup here. At this point, we're just price reading. Okay, the 5-minute candle closed right on the new week opening gap, but wicked up into the equilibrium. Okay, if we want to see for price to move, we need a change in state of delivery, and that honestly, that change in state of delivery is way down here on the 5-minute. Why? Why do I say that? Is this, as of right now, based on what we're seeing, what is the most reactive level? Is it equilibrium, or is it the new week opening gap high? I'm going to say it's the new week opening gap high. Why? This candle wicks up into it. This candle wicks higher, but guess what? It closes right on it. This tells me, hey, I'm going to keep my eye on this level here. Then I go back to the first candle, 5-minute candle that wicked up into it. That is this candle right here. So if I want to see a change in state of delivery, if I want to see confirmation that price is for sure, not all the time, but like with high probability moving the other direction, we want to see a red candle, a black candle close below this level here. That tells me price is moving the other direction. It also will give us a 5-minute inverse right here. Okay, so there's a few things that can tell us that we are changing direction. So right now, we're still sitting, we're still waiting, we're still watching. I like this low resistance liquidity sitting right here. There's not a single fair value gap here. It's just kind of building up orders for a move. In my opinion, it looks like as if it could be lower, but we're still waiting. We still waiting. We still need details. All right, so 5 minute, what did we just do? We wicked into that imbalance and we dropped into the imbalance, but then we had a fairly large reaction of 20 handles from that. It doesn't mean anything unless we see a continuation to the upside. That's kind of how I see that wick. Do we now see bullish price action running this low resistance liquidity to the upside? And if it's going to happen, it needs to happen right here because we are already grabbing this one. Do we grab this one or stop? We're going to run this. We're going to run this and continue higher. Or are we just going to close in line? If we close in line with this price action, it loses my interest. Okay, so that's fairly bullish. Let's see where the next candle goes. There's not a model. There's not an entry in here. We're just learning to read price and to read it as it plays out. Okay, we look at higher time frames to give us context, and then we drop to the lower time frame and we read order flow. We're reading order flow. When I'm looking at this right here, and this 5 seconds left, the unwillingness of this to move higher, when we have this low resistance liquidity, it means one of two things. Either we're in consolidation or we're going to change directions. To me, that's what it means. So right now, I'm assuming consolidation. Because there's no reason for it to stop at these levels here. Why do we close here? We wick above these two highs, but not run. There's no other reason for it to stop unless we're in consolidation. That's the answer. So I assume we're in consolidation, and it tells me to stay out. It tells me to wait. Good coffee this morning. All right, so we are at 9:45. We're the beginning of the macro. What are we looking for? Macros. Macros just tell me we have an opportunity for more of an extended run, not a fake out. Like this candle right here. This candle began to drop. It's like, oh, we're about to start moving. Nope. Typically between 9:45 and 10:15, you will start to see price run. We just don't know which way it's going to go yet. Right now, assuming we don't break below any of these levels, it's a higher price action. I don't look at the DXY really. I look at that for my confidence level in the dollar, if I'm honest with you. Because I think the dollar is going to crash at some point. I think the dollar is going to lose its value and it's not going to be good. And if it does that, starts doing that, I'm buying silver and gold. But in the context of looking at NQ, surgical striker, I don't. Do you see how we can take this lack of move higher as potential consolidation? This is what it takes. This is when you start seeing this stuff, it just, and you see it play out that way, it gives you confidence. Sometimes it can give you too much confidence and then you make stupid trades like I did yesterday. I took the confidence that I had in what I saw and I took a trade because I assumed I knew where price was going, but I didn't have an entry. I didn't follow a model. So just because I'm saying this doesn't give you the freedom to just jump into a trade. You can't do things like that. And I literally slapped myself in the face yesterday and lost a lot of my progress on my funded accounts, which extremely frustrating, as many of you can probably assume and have gone through that same thing. So just because you're reading price correctly doesn't mean you take an entry. Yeah, I don't trade Forex, Adam. I only do the NQ. I like the simplicity of knowing what I'm getting on and where I'm staying, and I just wait for my setups. I wait for price to play out. All right, so it looks like we are finally running this and maybe coming up in these highs. We still have 19 seconds left. We'll see. We want to see where this closes. Yeah, it looks strong. I'm not getting in it. Why? Because it could just wick right back down and drop right back into the range, and it means nothing. We call this, or ICT calls this, time distortion. It's waiting. What is it waiting for? Well, we're in the macro time. It could be waiting for 9:50. 9:50. It could be waiting for right at 10 o'clock. I think I better just double check. Sometimes I miss my news events. Today is Wednesday. No, we just got a 10-year bond auction. That's at 1. So we really shouldn't have anything going on today. On the 5-minute, these wicks lower and body closes higher tell me this is bullish price action. Long wicks below typically tell me we're reaching liquidity for the downside, but we really want to go higher. That's how I view that. Oh, let's go left. Let's go left and let's see what we got on the chart. So this is all the price action from Friday before our crazy overnight drop. We have all of this low resistance liquidity. Ooh, and we have triple equal highs. Look at this, folks. That's really high, though. That's really high. I don't think we're going to hit that. But that is something absolutely I want on my charts. So I have equal highs from Friday. I really like that. And there's this 4-hour fair value gap that's sitting over there as well. That could be the higher draw on liquidity. We may get up there in the AM. Could be the PM. It could be tomorrow. So we have, in my opinion, I think more reason to go higher than we do to go lower. The main reason is all this is really jagged. This is really jagged. We have lots of peaks and valleys. It's been efficiently delivered. And I think the sentiment is everybody thinks the market's crashing, so I think they're going to want to push it higher to pull those people out. I don't know. But we read price action. We can make assumptions all day, and it means nothing. It really, really means nothing. What I care about is price action, seeing a model, getting my trade, and moving on for the day. Give me a second, folks. I have my kids I have my kids read. My kids love video games, but I use that to my advantage. All my kids are required to read. They read anywhere from 10 to 20 pages per day. I have a list of things they have to do before they get to play video games, but one of them is reading. And my son came in here and he's 9 years old, and he finished his first adult book. He had a big smile on his face. It was a small adult book, but still, I mean, had no pictures. It had lots of words, and it's called The Go-Giver. If you guys have never read The Go-Giver, great book. Great book. What do we got here? Surgical Striker. Thanks, because NQ and DXY are not inversely correlated at the moment. No, they're not. And to be honest, if that's okay, I did say I didn't like all of this crap over here, all of this price action. That's a lot of just up and down movement. I mean, there's some nice moves that showed up in here. That's a nice market maker sell model from yesterday. That was pretty. But I mean, think about this, guys. When we look for these we want these nice setups. These setups take time. Okay? Our open price was right here. This was open. Okay? This was open sitting right here from yesterday. And it took from 9:30 to 14:50. It took all day for this sell side to form. So patience is everything, because as soon as you see this sell-off right here, you got the green light for a short, my friend. I mean, you're at this point looking, where can I get in to go short? That is exactly what you can do. Where can I get in to go short? And it would have been hard to get anywhere in here, so you would want to drop down to a lower time frame and see if you can see an inversion that would set up here. But patience is everything. It took all day for this to form. It went up all day and then just collapsed at the end of the day. And we could see the similar thing, or we might drop right away. This is why we just got to sit and be patient. The market will give us something. Our first area of interest is this 5-minute. I want to see this 5-minute close below, or I like this right here. I like this fair value, this SIBI right here, to go to the upside. But it would need to be extremely aggressive. Why do I like that? It's a fair value gap, a 5-minute fair value gap sitting right here. We dipped into it a little bit deeper, and we just swept this low right here. So let's drop down to the 30-second and just see if there's anything. I don't like how small that is. So this is not an option for me. I would want this to be bigger on the 30-second. If this was a bigger fair value gap and then we closed above it aggressively, this is nice low resistance liquidity that I would target to right here. But too small of a 30-second fair value gap, and the 1-minute fair value gap is closed. So no long opportunity for me here. At all. And that was a nice move lower, but not an opportunity for me to go long in any sense. I bet you there's probably one on the 15-second, but I ain't trading the 15-second. 10 a.m. macro has displaced towards midnight. I'm not Judas Joe. I would call displacement needs to violate on a higher time frame, and for me that's the 5-minute or 15-minute, needs to violate a discount PD array for displacement. I don't see on the 5-minute any displacement, even if this was a full-blown black candle right here, there isn't any displacement until we close below this 5-minute fair value gap, because this is the first discount PD array we're running into. Yeah, we have a little swing low right here, but I'm not counting this because it's part of this move higher and it's nice and green. So for displacement, I need to see 5-minute close, aggressive large candles. We potentially could see the beginnings of that on a lower time frame. The lower time frame can give us hints on where it's going, but I don't see clearly displacement lower. A clear displacement lower is going to be a close below this, and we have a minute 18, and it could still happen right here. I just want clear displacement to give me confidence that we're going to move the other direction. We do have confidence in this equilibrium. We've been messing around with this level, and we purged this level right here. I like this little BPR, a balanced price range, a fair value gap high to a fair value gap low, and then we moved away from it. So we can reasonably assume that this level here should find some resistance as an inversion fair value gap. So an IFVG. So we're going to watch this, and I want to see if we find resistance here. This also is considered the model 2022 by ICT, coming up into this fair value gap right here and going lower. I like these relatively equal lows, even though we swept it here. I still like these relatively equal lows that are all sitting right here. I just want to see, how do we react to this level, or do we just blow right through it? And if we consolidate here, I'm looking for a 1-minute change in state of delivery to the downside. And then I could play this short. So some ICT traders would be short right now. They'll take a short right here and they'll put their stop right there. So they would be short right there, and their stop would be right at that high, targeting these lows. That's what they would be doing right now. I'm not doing that because I'm waiting for a 1-minute change in state of delivery. I'm waiting for a green candle to be closed below by a black candle. And that is what I'm waiting for. I'm moving. I haven't fully transitioned over to that yet because I'll take some of these wicks sometime. But I like the comfort of it closing below the last up closed candle to give me confidence that we're moving in the other direction. Because if I went long or short right here, look at this aggression. It's still running. We just inversed this fair value gap right here. Or I should say this was the IFVG right here. We inversed this fair value gap right here, and we should hit these highs. So we inversed this fair value gap right here. So I had my things on the wrong. I was on the wrong highs and lows. This is a fair value gap. We would want, if this closed above it, it's considered an inversion, and you should see this high ran. This here is our inversion to the downside. We wanted to see it find resistance here to run lower. Okay? But we didn't. We closed above it, so we should assume that price should run this high right here. Price should run this swing high because we closed above this fair value gap. If we don't, what does that tell us? Surgical striker, I agree. I think price action on the 5-minute is telling us higher prices. I really wanted to go long here. I told you guys, you saw me talking about this on the 30-second, but there wasn't, this 30-second fair value gap was just too small. Do you guys see that 30-second right here? I would have played this if it was a larger 30-second. Ideally something like, that. If it was that big, I would have went long there. But because of how small it was, look how easily it was violated by this candle right here. It closed below it and then it exploded higher. We didn't have a 1 minute fair value gap either, so there's no opportunity, okay? So that's why we weren't able to take this. And those that were taking this for, I know other inversion traders that are looking at this bullish price action and are saying, I'm going long. Well, this trade is still valid right here. This is where you would stop out as soon as you close below that, and you'd be targeting these highs right there. But that's a 20 handle stop loss for a 10 handle move. And this is on the 30-second chart. Let's jump to the 1 minute, see what the 1 minute. 1 minute doesn't even have a fair value gap here for us to play. So I'm honestly don't even like the 30. I only like the 30-second when there's a 1 minute, and the 1 minute just, I take that back. I take that back. That is not true. I fully retract that statement because I've taken trades just based off the 30-second. Whoops. So right now this 30-second is still holding. But based on this aggression here, we should have seen this hit. Because it didn't, it's given me more confidence for a down move if we get it. Judas Joe, SMT. We got SMT on these highs right here. So did ES make a higher high at the 10 o'clock candle? I like this aggression here, guys. I'm looking at that. Close below right there. Okay, I'm short. We're going short right there. We're targeting these lows. As soon as we hit this low right here, we are moving our stop to break even. Okay? As soon as this low is hit right here, we need to move our stop to break even fairly quickly. And if this does not hit, this tells me we're in seek and destroy conditions, and I don't want to mess around with it. Okay, I'm out right there. All right, I got, as soon as we hit this low here, I took my profits. I just sold, and I'm out. So I got 19 handles on that move. Nope, I shouldn't. Did I get there? I got about 19 handles on that move. Did you guys see what happened? As soon as it was aggressive, I didn't even have time to move my stop to break even because it ran this low right here and it was extremely aggressive. I sold my profits, or I sold my position. And then it immediately wicked back up and would have stopped me out at break even, and it's already reversing. So that's how quickly you got to handle these inversion plays. Did you guys, who caught that? Did anybody play that on their end? Did anybody play that? We had to drop down to the 30-second because I needed more structure. The 1 minute had one right here, but it was too high. I wanted to see if there was something else. So the 30-second gave us a better opportunity for a lower entry because of how aggressive they were. And when you see this aggression, I got in before it actually closed with like 2 seconds left because I'm like, it's closing below. 2 seconds, 1, 2, and it's closed. So I was okay with taking it early, and that gives me a little better position. And as soon as it hit this low, it ran the next low, and I'm selling my position. It was very quick. This is the stuff, if you're watching me, you may miss, but if you watch this and you learn, my goal is to get you off stream. Get in a community. We're sharing the ideas in more updated time. Guys, I promise you, I will be starting a Discord. It's not time yet. I think it would be premature for me to do it. I think it's a little premature. I need because of the amount of time that a Discord requires, I need my audience to be a little bit bigger, if I'm being 100% honest. So right now we got 20 people on stream. When I get anywhere, if I'm getting 100 people on stream, I will move to a Discord. When we get 100 people on stream, I will move to a Discord. And I'm really looking forward to the Discord, because there's people on here that I've chatted with that I want to have more conversations with. And I'm limited to my conversations just on stream, that I want to be able to chat with you guys throughout the day in Discord. And also, Discord allows for it's like a second difference. It's like a second delay. So I will be moving to a Discord, but I have to have a slightly larger audience, because it's just the amount of time that I'm going to spend on Discord is a lot, and I need it to be worth my time, worth my time doing it. Hang on a second, guys. Yeah, I'm looking forward to a Discord. The time will come. So, if that's something you guys want, the way you can help me make that happen is two things. And yeah, this is going to be a plug for me. But before I can do a Discord, I need to see about 100 people consistently on stream on YouTube. And then I will move to Discord 2 to 3 times a week, and then doing YouTube once to twice a week, live for anybody else. And what I need help with is you guys sharing this with other people. If you're in other communities, whether you're in other communities or just sharing this stream on X or anything like that, that would help just get it out more. Ultimately, I would love to just help as many people as I can. So that's the only plug I'll put in for this. Ultimately, I'm happy with what my primary goal is to trade for myself. But if I can have other people come along, we can have a good time. We can talk about the Lord. We can talk about what God's doing, and trading. Then that's like a big bonus point for me. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. There was a Bible verse, a scripture I wanted to share today. We'll get into that kind of once this macro time's over and we have a little bit slower time in price action. Okay, guys, look left, look left, look left. Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. I don't like this. Do you see this? Look at this. All of this here. This is price action that I just don't like. We got a great move. We got a 20 handle move. I'm done. I'm done, and if you were able to get that move to the downside, you should be done too. Dean, how you doing, my friend? What is your take on female pastors and female leading churches? Well, I can tell you right now in this Discord or this stream, that has absolutely nothing to do with trading. And I know people begin to consider or want to hear the opinions of those that are, put themselves out there. So that's why you hear, people asking, "What's your position on the LGBTQ community? How do you feel about that?" "Oh, you are against it? well, we're going to reject you. That's fine. I don't care. Let me think about I have my answer. I just want to think of how to articulate it. I'm happy to answer that. Okay, remember this fair value gap, this inversion fair value gap we had? Or this fair value gap, we inversed it here. We're still coming back into it. And what is also sitting around here? This is still equilibrium. So equilibrium equals uncertainty. When you see price hanging around an equilibrium level, like we see here, why isn't it give me that? Give me the, like we see right here, here's equilibrium. When we're around this, basically it's telling us uncertainty. You should not be trying to go long or short here because anything could happen. The only thing you need to be doing is looking for liquidity. Where did we run liquidity? Okay, what does that mean? We could be going the other direction. Oh, it's aggressive. Here's my inversion. If we run this level, we should hit these lows. I'll take that entry. You're doing smaller moves. So we're at equilibrium. We're sitting on our hands. Okay, here's my view on it. Here's my view. The Bible says that wives should submit to their husbands as the body submits to, as Christ submits to the Lord, right? So the male is the head of the home. That's the model of Christ. There has to be a leader. There has to be a leader. There has to be somebody that is on top. However, when I look at my wife, when I'm with my wife and I'm talking with her and we're making decisions, I can tell you when I pull the card of, okay, let me pray about it and let me decide, it doesn't make her feel loved. A leader considers, I'm doing a workaround here. I'll answer the question. A leader considers the other person's, takes it before the Lord and really leans into that, and in love makes a decision for the whole family. And when there's disagreements and there's uncertainty, you both wait until you both have peace in your heart, or if a decision has to be made, then the decision goes to the head of the home. Now, the man is the head of the home. So here's what I believe. I believe women can teach. I believe women can be pastors. I believe they can lead churches. However, they must have a covering over them. If there, and this goes for a man. This goes for a man. I would rather, if I see charismatic believer going out and just changing the world, my first question is, okay, where did you get your teaching from and who are you submitted to? What other established leader in the body of Christ are you accountable to? I'm going to say this to a man or a woman. Are you submitted and are you accountable to another leader in the body of Christ that when you are charismatic and you're going for it and you start, potentially teaching wrong doctrine or doing things that are going against the word of God or just are questionable, who can speak into your life and bring you back to the word of God? Whether you're a man or woman, I believe you need to have that. And I believe a woman, this is a nice move lower. Let's see if we really get displacement finally. Or are we just going to stop in this area? Okay, even though we're having this aggression here, okay, we have nice aggression. I need to see it continue at this point. We had a fair value gap here, but I'm not interested in that. We really didn't run any highs. I need to see some displacement. And this looks promising. We have 1 minute and 30 seconds left. And we may close below this 5 minutes. So if we do that, there's a good chance we're going to get this change in state of delivery right here. And we could begin to look for lower prices. It doesn't mean that we're just going to drop. It could come back up here, but it can give us permission. So we want to see where this is going to close in a minute and a half. So whether you're a man or a woman, you need to have a covering. You need to have somebody above you that you're accountable to. The same goes for a woman. Okay, whether it's her husband, whether it's another pastor, in a lead pastor that they're under, or they're under, if it's a satellite church, the leader, here's the leader, the female leader, there's another leader over here that they're accountable to. So for me, it's not an issue of sex, it's an issue of accountability. Are you, male or female, accountable for what you're teaching the body of Christ? Are you accountable to somebody, or do you just say, I'm accountable to the Lord, nobody's going to tell me what to do? To me, that's immature. That's immaturity. That's somebody that has pride in their heart and copying out on the element of accountability that is so needed in the body of Christ, because left and right, you're seeing men and women stumble or being caught in sin because did they have accountability? Did they have somebody that they could go talk to? Did they have another pastor they could confide in and say, here's my struggle, and then help them walk out their salvation? So it's not an issue of male or female. It's an issue of accountability. That's my view. All right, displacement has taken place. Nice displacement in this 5-minute candle lower. I'm now I think we could see lower prices. Our next low right here is the 5-minute. That if we close below that, that's going to give me sure confidence. Let's look at the 15-minute real quick. Oh, that's not nice. I don't want to see this. If the 15-minute doesn't close either, so for every 5-minute candle, for every one 15-minute candle, there's 3 5-minute candles, right? Obviously 5, 10, 15. So I was honestly hoping that this 5-minute close lower was the close of a 15-minute candle, but it's not. So this gives me less confidence in this 5-minute right now. Dean, give me your feedback. What do you think about what I said? I mean, I honestly, it's not going to change what I believe, but I'm just curious. What do you think? I want to say one more thing, though. I want to say one more thing on this topic. We spend all this time, I hear this this is a common thing I hear, is wives should submit to their husbands. Wives need to be quiet in a public place. Women do not have a voice. I feel like men spend so much time on what the women's role is that they ignore what their role is. The role of the man is significantly more heavy than the women. It says that the wives should submit to their husband. Do you know what it says that the husbands should do? Because if we are expecting them to submit to us, if we want them to follow our leadership, if we want them to be quiet and do what we say, not teach, but receive teaching from us. In Ephesians chapter 5, it says that the husbands should lay down their life for their wife. Lay down their life as Christ did for the church. You need to be giving up your wants, your desires, your ambitions for the betterment of your spouse, for the betterment of the body, for the betterment of the congregation. You should be laying down your own desires. So if there's any of those, what do I want? Oh, you need to be quiet. This is what I think we need to go, where I believe we need to go. I'm going to say you're not in line with Scripture. Despite if the woman's supposed to be quiet or not. You're supposed to be laying down your life. Laying down your wants and desires for those around you. Putting your needs last. When I truly understood that, man, my heart softened on this position of what the role of the man and the role of the woman is, because it is a lot of responsibility and I take it seriously. And I have to reflect quite often on my intentions, my ambitions. Are they selfish ambitions, or am I considering my family above myself? Anyway, that's the last I'll say on that. 4 minutes left on this 15 minute here, guys. We are out of the 10 a.m. macro. We're still dropping. We have this mitigation block right here with these highs that we're just ran into. I'm liking the way this structure's looking. The only thing I don't like is we are in this area of a lot of, actually we're just dropping beneath it. Up how him. Oh, don't retract that message. I want to read it. I was just about to read it. Well, if you feel comfortable, put it up there. I love to read it. I felt like I saw that you were called to preach. And if I didn't get to read the rest of it, but if you are called to preach, amen. So is my wife. My wife is, the term is very, it's in the body of Christ. When you hear this, it just sounds weird sometimes, but my wife has the office of a prophet. That's my wife. She will have dreams all the time. She just has this knowing that things are going to happen, and they do. It is crazy. It blows my mind. And being up close and personal with it, I've had to answer these questions on myself. So okay, we have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on this 15 minute. I want to see this 15 minute close. So I hope I'm pronouncing this name right. Up, or your user tag, Up Hilmy. I'm a single female, and I'm called as a teacher. I teach whoever will listen, both male and female. If men are offended when they are free to leave. We are also called to follow peace with everyone. Oh yeah, to be in peace with everyone. Right, it talks about that in Romans. Okay, we're having a drop right here. I'm going to react, Dean, to what you're saying. You feel me. You feel me. Oh, cool. All right. Got it. You feel me. All right. We're running this low right here. We're finally getting some more displacement. 1 minute left on this 15 minute. So I have one comment for you, Dean, here in a second. And this is for everybody here that's going to listen. Everybody here, because this is for the chat. This is for Discords and how I'm going to handle when there's disagreements or there's opinions of theology. I'm waiting. I wanted to see this run here, though. We don't have an opportunity for entry. That opportunity has passed by us. We really didn't run these highs. These were relatively equal highs that I wanted to see ran, and we didn't run them right here. So this invalidates any downside move, immediate downside move, because we had equal highs. So when this ran here, we weren't going to take any of it. At this point, we may have had an opportunity that you could have taken here, but I still didn't like that we didn't run liquidity here. Okay? So this is just, in my opinion, what I would call sloppy price action. It's working out. We're seeing price move correctly. It's respecting areas, but it's just, in my opinion, it's sloppy. And I don't like sloppy as much. I'll be more reserved in my trade ideas. We do have these equal lows here. Boom, right there. I do like these equal lows sitting right here. So if we have a move higher, we come up a little bit higher and we create a bearish or a bullish fair value gap that's violated. I'll play that to the downside for these lows. That's an opportunity, and I would want that to happen within the next 30 minutes. Ideally, I would love for it to happen between 10:45 and 11. That would be ideal. What I would, guys, if you like these streams, hit the like button for me. Let's hit the like button. I would really appreciate that. It does help. We did run this low right here. So we swept that low, and now we have this 30-second fair value gap. I do like the way that looks, but we did close on the 15-minute now below this candle here. So I really should be looking for bearish price action here. I do not want to take a move higher. I do not want to take this move. If I was going to play some type of retracement, I personally don't want to take that because we have equal lows and we just had a 15-minute change in the state of delivery here. So now let's drop to the 5-minute. We have another 5-minute change in state of delivery. I really like this. So what do we have here? Here's our 5-minute change right here. This was the first candle that went up into the new week opening gap. We closed below it here. We put in another bullish candle, and then we closed below it. So we have our second change in state of delivery right here. I like when I see two change in state of deliveries. That gives me confidence that we could potentially see a lower move. If we don't, it means I'm not doing anything, guys. That means I'm not going to do anything, okay? So I want to answer this before we get too deep into people commenting on their opinions. Let me just read this here. Yeah. Okay, so here's this. We can keep talking about opinions and going through, here's my opinion, here's this. Here is what I will expect, and if we don't do this, or if whoever's giving their opinions doesn't do this, they're out. I'll kick them out. I don't care. I have no hard feelings on having people. All of these issues because this is my channel, this is how it's going to happen. All of these issues, whether biblical theological items, are secondary issues to the primary issue of the gospel. The gospel being preached, people coming to the Lord, people giving their lives to Christ, people being saved and being free from the chains of the enemy and living in the kingdom of light. That is primary. That is primary. If you can't love your brother or sister and be respectful, you'll be out. I don't care what kind of conversations you have on the chat. Primarily during live trading, we'll be doing this. We'll have other times that we can talk more theological. But primarily on the live streams, we'll be focusing on the charts. When I will bring up biblical references is when it's related to my edification, your edification, when trying to master the charts. I mean, a couple weeks ago, we talked about the power in life and death, how it is in the power of your tongue. If you're going to choose to speak negative things over yourself while you're trying to learn a trade, you're going to struggle because your words have power. That is an example of how I will use biblical references and bring them into our live streams for trading, because ultimately my goal is to help you get financial freedom. And I believe every person on here should have financial freedom, and I believe strongly that this is an avenue that it can happen. So, we will keep our biblical conversations to trade-related items only. We're not going to be going deep into theology on other things, unless we're on a Discord and we have a whole topic on that, because this live stream is for trading. I'm not afraid of bringing biblical references and talk about women teaching the Bible. I want to focus on how the Bible can help you become a better trader. It's day trading in Jesus. So, Adzi, I 100% agree. Now, I will Adzi, I will talk about religious beliefs in regards to trading. And if you don't like it, you're free to leave. That's totally fine. But this is going to be the conversations are going to be revolving around the kingdom of heaven and how we can access the riches of the kingdom of heaven and how we can change our mindset through scripture so that we can become a better trader. That will happen on this channel. But primarily, I will teach you how to trade and trade well. All right, look at what happened right here. Here is I highlighted this for you. This was the downside move. This is a B plus setup. It's not an A plus. The main reason is we really aren't redelivering from. We're not redelivering from a swing high. We have this small swing high right here, but it's not as prominent as this one. So going short here with not grabbing liquidity, prominent liquidity, is not an A plus setup. This is a B plus type setup. It could be in line with order flow. That's where I think order flow is going. But it's still, as you can see right now, it just violated and invalidated this trade idea. So while we did get an inversion set up to the downside, It then closed back above it. And the reason why I wouldn't have taken that is because I personally would have wanted this high to be ran before I would have taken that. Okay? That is what I would have wanted to see. We have a 5-minute fair value gap sitting up here. This is what I would want to see. I like this. Okay, look at these bodies. Look at the bodies on the 5-minute. Ignore the wicks for a second. Here's our high. Here's our low. Here's our higher high. Do you see how this is a higher high in relation to the bodies? High, low, higher high, displacement lower, breaker. Fair value gap inside the breaker. So, if we drop right here, it drops without us. If we come up to this 5-minute fair value grab this liquidity, I'm looking for an inversion to the downside. That would be an A+ type setup. We run liquidity here. We rebalance this 5-minute time frame. It's overlapping with a 5-minute breaker based on the bodies. And we've already gotten a 15-minute change in state of delivery. This is an idea that you can put forth on your charts, and now you wait for that setup to play out. If it doesn't, you don't take a trade. But look how it's reacting to this 5-minute on the downside here. This is why I'm like, this could be some, we could see some just back and forth price action today that's not very clear, and you want to stay out of it. Is we have a breaker here. Look at this. A low, high, lower low. Here's the 5-minute breaker in relation to the bodies, and look what it overlaps with. It overlaps with these levels really nicely. Look at that first reaction to this body. That is, folks, almost to the tick. It is off by 1 tick. From that level to that level. We hit that level. Almost to the tick. And it had a reaction to it. So right now, we're between 2 5-minute fair value gaps, and I would not be trading anything until one of these are ran, because we are consolidating back and forth in here. We're slowly progressing lower, but it's not clear. It's not clear, and you do not want to take trades in here because you could get manipulated out. You could see some. You could have it run against you. I got you, Adzi. All right, look at this swing low. We wicked below these lows on this candle. I like that, and I'd like to see this candle would close above. If this candle closes above, we should run these highs. That's how I would see that. Now, lower probability. Why? Because we're within the 2 5-minute fair value gaps. So this is just reading order flow. Okay, what did we do? We just closed above there. We should run this high right here. I wouldn't take it because it closed way too high above this 30-second fair value gap. I would have wanted to close like right around here, and then I would have an opportunity for it to run this high. Let's see if this plays out. I like how we swept these lows with this candle here. We closed green, and we closed above this 30-second. I just don't like how high we closed. So no trade opportunity for me here, but I'm expecting these to be ran right now. If we don't, There it is. There's your swing high hit. Oh, nope, not quite. It didn't hit. As soon as this high would be hit, there it is. Stop to break even, or you're taking profits. So your break even is right here. Break even now is at break even. And you'll be stopped out if it hits that level. We haven't hit the swing high yet. So your next target is this swing high, sitting right there at 11.5 handles. You would be taking profit once you hit that high, and if you have a runner, you'd be running to this high. We're 2 minutes before the macro time. So this will probably play out. The only reason we're not in it is because of where the close is. Do you see how aggressive that candle was? I'm taking profit, and I'm for sure holding to this candle right there. Stop's already break even. I've already taken profit off. I'm holding a runner to right here. There it is. You sell at 26 handles. Do you guys see how that just played out? And I did not take it at all. Do you guys see how that just played out? Do you see the signatures and price action that gave this away? What do we got on the 1 minute? There's not even a 1 minute option here. So there wasn't anything but the 30-second for this trade. This was almost an A+ setup. Oh man, I would have loved to take that. I would have loved to take that. 5 minute just closed inside the 5 minute fair value gap. So we still have 4 minutes on this 5 minute candle where we could wick these highs and then come down, or we just may change direction, or we're in that seek and destroy market and we shouldn't be taking a trade anyway. But it is very important you guys see this signature in price. It's very important you see this signature in price. This wick below alone is only a fraction of why this turned into a great setup besides the close of this candle. Way too high. That is the reason why I did not take this trade. The fact that we wicked below it into the 5 minute but closed green is the reason why this turned into, we'll call this an A setup. A+ would have been a close closer to this fair value gap, because look at what your drawdown would have been. Your drawdown would have been it would have been 21 handles. That's a lot of risk for somebody that doesn't want to take a lot of risk on. Or you just do a single micro, so it's only a 40-point drawdown. So this would have been $40 drawdown on one micro contract. Okay? For a 26 handle move for a $50 move on a single micro. Okay, if you're doing a mini, multiply that. This would have been $400 drawdown. This would have been a $500 win. Okay, obviously we didn't get that drawdown, but the problem is that you don't know if you're going to get the drawdown or not. So the fact that we wicked below this and closed green, oh man, this would have been all in full port status if this candle closed right above there. I would have been long. I'm just kidding on the full port, by the way. I would have been long right here. If this candle literally just closed 2 handles more, if it closed right here, I would have been in long. That would have been a beautiful entry. So multiple things. Swing lows grabbed, tagged a fair value gap, went from red to green, and closed above a inversion gap on the initial or next candle, means aggressive, we're running this high, and potentially this high. And we did just that. And we're now moving higher. It is on its way. This is what we wait for. It just did not give us the entry that I wanted. So we missed out on it. There'll be another one. But that was... If you record this, or if you can, what I would be doing is snipping this live stream. You can go on YouTube and you can actually make snips. Save those snips of that section of this live stream and watch it over a few times. Memorize these types of things, because that is the indication. Like I said, I'm not getting in because of where this closed. Look at this. Look at this. Here's why. Here's why I didn't get in. Look at from this high right there. Sorry, that's not that one. From right here to that high. That was 7 handles. That's too small of a move for me to get this. I want 10 handles or more for my swing high so that I can take profit. Because I want to make 10 handles on my move. So 10 handles is up to there. But the drawdown is much bigger compared to the 7-handle win I could get. Because at this point, we don't know if it's going to go higher. We just know we're going to take profit. We're going to take size off at this level, take more size off at this level, and then hold a runner. We don't know that. It could hit this level and completely reverse. That's why you have to move your stop to break even. This drawdown, though, was 11 handles. Not too big, but it's more than what your target was. That's just not as attractive. So I didn't like the way it looked on this candle here. It's why I didn't take it, but it was a beautiful setup. I do like those equal highs. So far today, we've taken 2 trades. We took a trade literally right when I got on stream. Literally like a minute into our stream, we took a trade. You reached your daily goal, $200 in your PA account. Way to go, my friend. Nice job. We'll see you tomorrow. I will be here tomorrow. Where did I take that trade? It was right at the open. It was right here. This was a beautiful setup. This is another one. Another one. What do we see here that's very similar to that last trade? Let me go to the 1 minute time frame. What do we see on this? What do we see on, let me remove this here. What do we see on this trade that was similar to the last one? Literally, if you can take your snipping tool, snip this, or on your charts, snip this, and compare this trade to the last one that we just talked about. What did we do? Almost identical except for one thing. We wicked below this low. We ran liquidity. We have low resistance liquidity here. The only thing that this one didn't have is we did not close through this fair value gap in 1 or 2 candles. We inched our way up, but we closed here. And then what did we do? We immediately ran. Now, this was open right here, so it had a nice large move higher. We had low resistance liquidity here. We closed above it after we ran this low. rebalancing the lowest fair value gap in a range for a continuation higher. This is a beautiful setup too. Snap a picture of this bad boy, because this is the best inversion type setups. It happened twice today. We took this one, and we took 3 trades. I didn't take this trade. We took 2 trades. The other trade I took was this one right here. I played the close of this inversion right here. We didn't grab this high, but we made relatively equal highs, and then we had a massive displacement in a single candle. When I see this large of a candle in relation to the range that we're in, I will target the low. And I will bring my stop to break even fairly quickly, because this type of move is designed to either do one of 2 things. Either we are running the other direction, or we're going to quickly grab liquidity before these people can move their stops that we're going long. And then we're going to wick below it, grab it, and run the other direction or consolidate. That is what this play was. So we took this trade short. We took this 1 minute long, and we was not able to take this beautiful A setup, B plus A setup long, because of where this candle closed. Oh, let's switch this up here. Sorry, I know the chart disappeared here. I'm getting it up. You have to, on OBS, you have to re-engage it. You have to click it like every time. And sometimes it takes a minute for it to pull up, and sometimes it doesn't pull up at all. So I wanted to switch up just the view of it, and sometimes it takes a minute. All right, so apparently that didn't work. So we will hang out. Adzi, we'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. All right, we are coming up on 11 o'clock here. Honestly, guys, where we're at sitting right here, it's still 50-50. Do you guys remember this level right here? This is the midnight open. Or so Is that the midnight? No. This was equilibrium. This is equilibrium. We're still sitting underneath it. Look how we've been respecting this, guys. That's interesting. We've been playing on the discount side of this equilibrium level. Look at this 5 minute and how we've respected this, wicked above it. If I didn't know any better, I would say this is long-term. I mean, I think it's long-term bearish, but I think we could see lower prices. Even though we're not seeing it right now, that I think there could be an argument for lower prices. Even though we just saw this huge displacement higher, we displaced nowhere, right back into this range. Here's a breaker. An inversion right here. Let's see if we close below this inversion fair value gap. I like that.
Order submitted.
We're going to go short right there. Let's see what happens right here. Targeting this low. We will move stop to break even as soon as we run the previous candle's low, if it doesn't. That's what we're watching for. And it doesn't look like it's going to give it to us. We're watching for this invalidation of the trade. It's sitting right here. If we close above that, we're closing the trade. There's 13 seconds. Let's see where it closes. I'm holding above that to see, get ready to close below it, or for it to close the trade, and it looks like it's gonna. All right.
Order submitted.
Closing that. Not gonna take that. So missed opportunity there, or not a missed opportunity, failed opportunity, I should say. Now because I was done for the day on my main account, this is on a single micro. That was a trade on a single micro. Give me a second here. You see that? You see this, guys? A little manipulation higher and then we're breaking lower. That happens from times. You'll have the right idea. I'll have the right idea and then it just manipulates you out and then it runs the direction. So we had the right play. Wrong time. Sucks. Because that will happen. The play, the intention, you see price doing what you think it's going to do. And we went short at 10:59. We got stopped out on the 11 o'clock candle, which typically has a little more volatility, and then it just melts on us. That sucks. I hate when that does that. But we just have to, man. This candle right here, this manipulation leg right here, I thought was this right here. I viewed this as my manipulation leg because we went above this, we hit the breaker, and I was expecting that lower price. But here it was right there. That was the move. That sucks. Displacement lower, grabbed liquidity. We have an inversion sitting right here. This is where price just gets uncertain in these places here. We'll see if price wants to run this high. This is another potential manipulation, and it's getting aggressive, so I think we should run this, but it may not. We'll see what happens. It's just price starts becoming more uncertain. Okay, so that trade worked out. It was just more prominent of a displacement here. Same as this one, more prominent of displacement, and then ran the other direction. You see how it did that literally 3 times? First one failed. This one would have worked. This one would have worked. And this one worked as well. So the first one failed. The next 3 worked. Take a snapshot of that too. I think we're probably running for this high right now. We got a bunch of equal highs sitting right here. This is really smooth. This is going to have, I think, a nice reaction to it. I think we might have a nice reaction higher unless we don't. Again, like I said, more uncertainty in this at this point in time with where price is. But I like this reaction here. We manipulated lower and we're being very intentional in this leg right here. So I think we should run to at least this high. That's what I'm looking for. We have a breaker sitting right here. Let's see if it wants to find support here. It could also come down to this inversion right here, sitting inside this, inside of this breaker bar. So let's see if it wants to find some support here and then move the other direction. Okay, we wicked into that fair value gap. I want to see it push up right here. I really want it to be aggressive. I want a big close. There we go. Well, this retracement was allowable. It was allowable. It came into an order block, or came into this breaker and order block and found support here. We just need it to displace above. We need to close above here really quickly. I want it to be aggressive right here. Not in the other direction. Stop playing around. It wants to go higher, but it's just flirting with everybody. Just flirting. Good morning, Deborah. It's good to see ya. Sun shining day out there. It's beautiful out. Hopefully you're having a good day. Wow, it's already been almost 2 hours. It doesn't even feel that way. Okay, I mean, this should run. I'm expecting higher prices at this point. I am doing great. I am blessed. My family's healthy. We're in good health. And we're having some fun. Okay, it needs to run here, my friends. It needs to run. Makes no sense for it not to run these highs. It makes no sense for it not to run these highs. That's just crazy. How you gonna leave that? How you gonna leave that? You know what I'm saying? Still respecting though. We still have this. Let me fill this full thing in. This is the breaker I'm referring to. This is the breaker I'm referring to. That's crazy. Yeah, a double top is prime for being ran. That's how I view that. Yes. It is creating liquidity above. Okay, there's an inversion. Oh, look at that. I'm going to say stay out of this, folks. Stay out. It's more than a double top. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 touches from this single high. And then we got a higher high and then a higher high above that. This is the draw on liquidity. We are not looking anything short we're looking for a long opportunity. This was disregarded. We closed below this breaker bar, so we'll delete that. We didn't grab this low. At this point, I want to see us grab the low and then look for a higher price. Look for an inversion. Here's the 5-minute fair value gap. We got a breaker sitting right here. We also have equal lows down here. Do you see this, guys? This is why. Equal lows below, equal highs above. Low probability. I like how it wicked below that last swing low. We need to see it. If it's going to run these high, I mean, it's going to be obvious when it runs. You're going to see it be very obvious when it begins to run. Am I out of the screen? I'm sorry. I'm sitting back here relaxing. Let me adjust that so I can sit back. All right, it is 10:16 or 11:16. Sorry, I'm in Central Standard Time. That's why I keep saying the wrong number. Give me a second here. I'm going to get my kids doing their homework here. Sorry about that, folks. All right, so it looks like we're going lower. This is big enough displacement that tells me we're going lower. We just don't know if we're going to get through this. We don't know if we're going to get through this. So let's go to a 1 minute time frame. This is our last standing ground before liquidity run. And we're in that fair value gap right now. So with these equal highs here, it doesn't allow me to go short, but there's equal lows here. So it's a judgment call. It's lower probability, but you decide what risk you want to take. We swept this high, so it gives us permission to run lower, but we might just change directions here again. Look at that reaction based on coming in here for the first time. We have a 5 minute fair value gap. Let's see if this closes below in 30 seconds. That might give us indication for lower prices or for this liquidity run to these equal lows that are sitting down here. All this is lower probability at this point because we're at 11:19. We're outside of the macro time, and we could just do this type of movement up and down. So this is the time that you really should be getting off and walking away. Look where the 5 minute just closed right now. It closed inside the fair value gap, so that doesn't give me convincing price action that we're going to move lower. It still could happen, but as far as overlap, things that are giving me the confidence that we're going to move lower, that is not one of those indications. So when we close below this 1 minute fair value gap, is it more probable? I would have wanted to see this 5 minute close below and then this 1 minute, and then that would have given me the confidence to potentially take this 1 minute. Now I'm questioning if we're just going to get manipulated out of it. It's not clear, it's not obvious, it's not something I want to take. So with that, my friends, I think I'm going to call it a day here. It's been over 2 hours. Actually, 2 hours and 8 seconds exactly. So we're going to call it a day on the stream. I will be here tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be here live trading. If you weren't on here earlier, my ultimate goal is to get a Discord going because I feel like I'm going to be able to do a lot more, but I need more people to be a part of the live stream to make it worth it. So if you know anybody that joins live streams or you want to share this with others, I would not be opposed to that. I would be very thankful. Second is if you use Apex already, I'm not asking you to use Apex, but if you already do, I just ask you to use the code DTJ. DTJ to get the best discount that Apex is providing. And I believe today is the last day, according to Apex, that they're providing the 80% discount. Obviously, they've extended these dozens of times, all the time, so they could extend it again or it could go away and then it'll come back later. But either way, I believe that 80% discount is supposed to end today. They may change that. Obviously, they've just done it too many times to assume they're going to just make you pay full price because nobody's going to pay nothing if you do full price. So 80% off right now. Use code DTJ. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a blessed day.